We're gonna be talking about power of being alone, the power of self-reliance, and the power of self-improvement. So let's jump right in. So first of all, as you know, um, being alone is something that you got to get accustomed to, especially when you become an adult, because everyone is going on with their lives, doing whatever they have to do. Everyone's separating, going on to their different paths, and most of the time, you got to figure out this journey on your own. And so, there's gonna be times where you won't have anyone to talk to, and you sort of gotta be your own cheerleader. Um, we've had plenty of experiences with this,
Yes.
and there's something that's inevitable. It's gonna happen. So my boy Devin's gonna bring up some points here.
Yeah, I definitely think at some points in life you start realizing that after you get out of high school and start getting into adulthood, especially in college, like all your good friends or people around you, they ain't gonna be there to really listen to your problems because they got their own problems. Everybody's got their own life, and you can't really rely on them at the end of the day. It's nothing against them, but it's just, it's your life. And you gotta be comfortable with yourself. You gotta learn what makes yourself happy and how to entertain your own self, and especially in the hard times. Some like Batani said, it's people like people aren't always gonna be there for those hard times because it's really the man in the mirror or whoever's looking. It's just a man in the mirror. Like
Facts.
that's right. It's at the end of the day. You're born alone. Maybe with your moms, but you dying alone.
Yep.
You're in,
Yeah.
so it's like once you gotta learn that comfortability with yourself, and ultimately once you do that, you will open up more connections.
Yeah.
I'm feeling because I'm still learning this each day. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. Like Devin said, it's all about learning. It's a learning process because like you said, we go from being in high school. You got your clique of friends or whoever, and then once you get out of high school, you get into college. That circle diminishes, and soon you only have maybe one or two real good friends that you can really rely on. And that's how life is. And
Mm-hmm.
and self improvement will come with this because when you spend time alone with yourself, you find out
Yeah.
your strengths and weaknesses, and
Yeah.
you find out what you need to improve on. You don't have all those distractions of people asking you to go to parties or asking you to uh, do certain things that you don't want to do, because
Yeah.
you have a lot of influences when you're young. You're impressionable. You have all your friends saying, let's go do this, let's go do that. And sometimes you think, oh, that's not even a good idea, but you do it because of the peer pressure.
Right.
um,
And yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like when you get in when you're around that environment, it's like sometimes you're better off by yourself. You
Yep.
know, and when sometimes you're around those people, even though it might seem right at the time, it might be better like to be by yourself and improve yourself instead of going out that night. Find something that'll, you know, better your future. Or just that 10 minutes of studying something else, or watching a video on self improvement, or just the little things. Not always giving into the peer pressure too. So
Yeah, that's facts. um, that's exactly true. You know it's very good to improve yourself because at the end of the day, life is about having skills, and you have to have marketable skills, because without a skill or some type of education or something, then that's when you you don't have any any marketable skills, and so you're left on the back end, you're left on the back burner, because in society, it's all about having a skill or some type of education or something to contribute to the world. Um,
Yeah.
and so, sometimes you gotta buckle down and um, not allow the distractions to get to you. Um, and some people, it's one thing that I've learned is that we all have this void that we want to fill, and the only way to fill that void is if you have purpose in life, if you have something you're striving after, something you're going after, because if you don't have that, then you're gonna allow all types of distractions, all types of people to come into your life that are not good for your life.
Yep. That's
And
a fact.
and you know, if you have a purpose and something you're striving after, it's something that you wake up and you want to do it every day. You're invigorated to wake up and get and make it happen. So,
Mm.
but if you don't have that, then that's when you fall victim to these temptations and to these vices, is what I know that people have, vices. And vices can come in all types of forms, as in, drugs, uh, video games, smoking, all type of stuff. Um, and because most of us, we go to work, or some of us are in school, or whatever, and then you sleep maybe 6 to 8 hours a day, and then you got 6 to 8 hours of free time. And what are you doing with that free time? If you don't have anything that you're doing with that, that's when you're gonna fall into those bad habits and those temptations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? That's very true because it's like if you like, for instance, when I was after I played football, I didn't like have that. I was football was kind of like that motivation. I woke up every day and was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this bag. I'm gonna get right today. After that, I was kind of like I didn't have that, so I kind of fell to some of those temptations, let some of those bad people, and until I found I was like, man, I really got to find a focus, and that's exactly why I started Boosted Cultures to really help myself find that focus and get involved with business early. You know, it really changed my mindset, especially reading.
Oh
Reading
yeah,
definitely changed my mindset a lot. Definitely helped self improvement.
yeah.
What is it? What are, how do you improve yourself? What steps do you really take to be comfortable with yourself? You know, what do you think about that, B?
Well, you know, uh, the steps that you can take really to improve yourself is, first off, you got to create a schedule, because if you don't have a schedule, then that's where you fall victim to many things. Because without a schedule, you don't have a set place you're going. So I would advise everyone, to get a schedule, because I remember I didn't have a schedule, and I would just kind of aimlessly walk around, you know, day to day, and didn't really know what I was doing. And, I would just watch entertaining videos and, do different stuff that was not even improving myself because I didn't know what to do. Um, but so I decided to make a schedule. So my schedule consists of, waking up in the morning, getting a quick workout in, um, drinking a smoothie, um, reading, for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, um, and then going about my day, doing whatever I have to do for work, or for school, or if you have a business or whatever. And when you come home, maybe you can read up a little more, and maybe you can watch those entertaining videos or catch up on those shows or whatever you want to do. But you got to tackle the important things in the beginning of the day, because that's when you can capitalize most off of it, I've
Mm,
noticed.
yeah.
And you need a routine, because without a routine, you're just floating aimlessly. So that's what I would advise, because that's helped me out tremendously, a lot.
What is it? Yeah, that's a good point. Also, I think it's about being positive and
Yeah,
having gratitude to being thankful for things.
definitely.
When when you're negative on yourself, that allows you to really get lost. Like not really have that schedule. You got to be positive, not let little things affect you, and be grateful for the things you do have. I think that's a really big. That's something I'm working on right now. Like I am grateful for the things I have, but it's like being consistently thankful for it. You know,
Yeah,
that's that's a key. I feel like to some improving self love and in yourself, improving yourself, like, and especially with business, like it involves and it helps with business too.
yeah,
When you're just not when you're thinking you're thankful and you're positive, good things come to people who are like that. And especially if you're in business and you're not negative and you're positive, you got this good vibe going and you show confidence in yourself. It'll improve relationships not just in business but in life, friends, like girlfriends, whatever. You
yeah.
know, I believe that for sure.
Yeah, and that's a great point that Devin made because you know, being positive is definitely something that will help you in the long run. Especially if you're doing something you love, you're gonna be positive because you're gonna love what you do. A lot of people that are negative are doing stuff that they don't even want to do or they don't like to do because it makes a lot of money, but that's
Mm-hmm.
not what you want to do because no matter how much money you make, if you're doing something you hate, you're never gonna be happy. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. So you gotta do something you love, and that gets
money
me
doesn't. Yeah.
to another story here where Devin and I, we go way back. We went to college together at Cabrillo, played football together, and I remember Devin. Devin inspired me a lot. He would always wake up, ready to get after, ready to get to it, because he was doing something, he loved, just like I was. I was doing something I loved with football. So Devo, was very positive person, and he would uplift other people, and that's another thing. Uplifting other people, making people feel your energy, where you can inspire others, will pay dividends because when you inspire others, they will go on to inspire someone else, and then that person will go on to inspire someone else, and it creates a domino effect. And I remember in practice, Devin would always, get us pumped, get us excited, get us going, get us ready, and we all fed off that energy. And that's one thing you want to do. You want to be a beacon of light, a beacon of energy on people.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing for Vitani too. Like, we all fed off each other. It wasn't just me, like just coming off that energy, the people around me. And we all fed off each other. When we do that, I come to practice and just think, we all got to get it. If if our people around me aren't feeling hyped or aren't ready or prepared for their day or our work, just say our practice, you know, I'm not going to be my best self. Everyone's gonna, the people around you got to be their best self so you can be your best self too. And inspiring people is, it's that's something that it's crazy because see, you say I inspired you, but it's like, it's funny thing is, it's like, people like, V, you inspired me, like
Yeah,
other dudes on our team inspired me to be, like, oh shoot, I got to step it up for my guys on the team.
yeah.
It's like, it's all about being positive and really, you never, and patience too. That is
Oh yeah,
something that patience is, that's a crucial thing in life because you know there's always tomorrow. Even though you gotta do your best today, but when stuff's not going right, just have the patience
yeah.
because in the end, it's all gonna work out. That's just life. Everything works itself out,
Mm,
and it may not seem good in the moment, but at the end of the day, you're gonna find yourself a week, maybe a month, a year, whatever. You're gonna be like, wow, that point in life was bad, but I grew and I learned, and I'm a different person because of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly a great point. And like Devin was saying, other people, he fed off that energy, and inspired him. And that's what life is about, a team also. It's a team effort too, because say you build a business, or you're
Yeah.
putting together a team of people to
Yeah.
go into your business. Um, you need everyone. You can't do everything on your own too. You
Yeah.
need other people also.
Yeah.
And so, with football, it was a team effort. If one goes down, then we all got to step it up.
Exactly.
So,
And it's
oh yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, what else I was just gonna say to that point is just like, yeah, it's a team effort. We're all in a team, but then this comes right back to self improvement.
Yeah.
Say if one of us is down, that hurts your other teammates, and that just shows you how crucial it is to be up positive with yourself and be up with yourself and be one with yourself. Because if you're one with yourself, you're going to be stronger for everyone else, and everyone else will feed off that energy that you bring to the table,
Yeah.
because they see that. They're like, oh shoot, he's got that confidence in himself. I need that too. I like that energy, and people just feed off of it. Just
Exactly.
like, yeah, exactly.
And yeah, just, it's all about being positive, being that inspiration, motivating people. And, also another thing that we kind of touched on briefly earlier, you got to get away from that negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put yourself around that negative energy and those people that aren't doing much with their life, because then you'll end up just like that. You know,
Yeah.
birds of a feather flock together. Is a common saying, and you really got to associate yourself with people who want you to win. Don't go
Yeah.
into a circle of people who tolerate you. Go into a circle of people who celebrate you, because there's a difference.
That's a
Some people tolerate you, some people celebrate you, and I'd rather be on the side where people are celebrating me. How about
that's
you?
a Oh, I'm the same. I was, man, preach that, because like, that's another thing with self improvement, and being alone. Like when you're alone, you can like separate those people,
Yeah,
because when you're in a downtime, you'll know who's really rocking. You
facts.
know who's you know who's really right there, not just tolerating. Someone's really like, hey man, let's get it, let's get back up, let's get back on our shit, you know,
Hmm.
versus somebody just like, just there, and that's what's good about being alone. You'll notice those people, because they won't be there when you're alone, when you're struggling, when you're down. They're not gonna be there. They won't care.
Exactly.
And another thing is just, I think eliminate self criticism. I understand. So like in football, I used to have so much self criticism.
Oh
It was
man.
actually bad. So like, it that's something that I feel is a thing. Eliminate self criticism, and do introduce yourself to self compassion.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can't yourself is the hardest critic, but at the same time, you need to be, like you said, you got to be your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
You got to be there when you're struggling. Yeah, you okay, take your faults, understand what you're doing wrong, and attack the problem. But you can't sit there and dwell on it and get on yourself,
Yeah.
because if you once you do that, you're pretty much defeated.
Yeah.
You're defeating your own self. No one else is beating you. It's just you at that point. Everyone makes mistakes, but I feel like self criticism is something that like everyone should do less of, because it's just negative. It's just negative energy you're telling yourself. You know, everyone messes up. So I believe we should definitely introduce more self compassion.
Wow. That is a great point. That is a great point. I've never even thought about that. That self compassion and self criticism. But that's a great point you brought up, because I was the same way. I would always get down on myself and criticize myself. But it's great to learn how to have self compassion, and like Devin said, learn from your mistakes. That's what life is about. When you take a L, look at it more as a lesson, not a loss.
Yeah, it's a W, low key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, If you taking dubs all the time, you're not gonna learn. There's no way you'll learn.
Exactly.
Like if you start taking some L's, you're gonna be like, all right, hold up, why did I take this L? And if you sit there and take it with like a positive and open mentality about it, instead of just closed minded of just why you took it, you just sit and you're like, okay, I took this L. Okay, this is what I could change, and then move on. That's way better than us just being like, hey, I try get on yourself like, why did I do that? This, that, and the third. You're just wasting energy and time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. And it,
One thing, one more point I have to say:
mhm.
affirm, just know your wealth. You're not your wealth, your worth.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
You know your real worth.
Yeah.
Because when you're around a bad environment, um, and you get by yourself, start thinking about your worth. You know, are you worth that environment? Are you better than that? You know, what do you
Mhm.
deserve
Yeah.
as a person? And it's only up to you to get it. There's no one else that's going to give that to you. What
Exactly.
you're really worth. Yep.
Exactly. Because no one, and at the end of the day, everyone, could say they love you. They want you to do well. But always remember this: 98% of people want you to do good. So you got to remember
Okay.
that. You got to remember that. That's a really valuable lesson. I,
Yeah.
I never knew that when I was young. But jealousy is a big thing in the human population. It's just part of our DNA, and sometimes there's gonna be people around you when they see you do well. They're gonna be all nonchalant. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, I see you, yeah, okay, and then there's gonna be people around you that are gonna hype you up. Be like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm glad you got that. Let's get it. And then that's gonna inspire them to do better.
Hmm.
But you always gotta distinguish who is jealous of you, who is and then who is praising and motivating you, and who wants to feed off that energy of you. Because um, there's always, like Devin said, there's always gonna be in your downtime. There's always gonna be time to recognize who are these people. Because, like he said, when you're down and out, some people aren't gonna be around, and that's how you can tell who your real friends are and who are your fake friends. Because when you're going through financial difficulty, or you need someone to talk to, pay attention to who comes to your aid, and pay attention to who doesn't. Or if you reach out to them, pay attention to that. Or if you see somebody having a party or some type of get together and they never invited you, and you got to
Yeah.
hit them up all the time, pay
Yeah.
attention to that, because that's a big indicator of who wants you around and who doesn't.
Hmm.
Um, but
That's a
but
that's a big fact.
that's a
That's a
definitely.
because there's some times where you could really you could really like that person, or enjoy their company, but they could just, like, we once again we talked about tolerating. They're just tolerating you, and it's hard to really find that unless you're by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless
Yeah, for
unless you're
sure.
by yourself, unless you're in that tough time, or you're really noticing like, whoa, like, hold up, why am I hitting you up all the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it all comes back to being alone and self improvement, and you just start to notice these things, and you improve yourself, and you get on your purpose, and you won't even notice, you won't even need anyone, because you have your purpose, you have your passion. And it's great if people come into your life, that's good. But if people leave your life, then that's okay too, because
Yep.
people gonna come and go, but the real one's gonna stay. And you guys enjoy your journey and grow together, and
Hmm.
keep improving.
Exactly. And when those people do leave your life, it's not necessarily a bad thing either.
Yeah.
Because you got to say they leave, you just got to sit there and just be like, it was a great, I did. I enjoyed the good times we did have, and take it how it is and be positive about it and just learn from it. Learn from what you missed. And then next time, protect yourself from those people, or just stay away from those people. It's
Yep.
just all a learning curve. You
Yep.
never you there's no way you can know what a person's really like
Yep.
until you've really start hanging out with them and being around them for a lot longer. Then you start really knowing. There's
Yep.
no way you can know in the beginning.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Yep. And like Devin said, only time will tell. You never know what someone's intentions are. But I'll say one thing. Like we've reiterated this a lot, but when you're down bad, that's when you know, man. Because everybody gonna love you when you up, but
What
when
they
you
go?
down, man.
They'll be gone.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
gonna be gone.
First thing smoking out the door. Out the door, man.
That's the truth. But hey, man, it's life.
Yeah,
Not everyone's meant to be there.
facts. And so, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But
Yeah,
thank you for everybody listening to us. Again, you got Devin Ross, aka Devo, co-founder of Boosted Culture, doing some big things out there. Y'all go follow his page.
yeah. Legends Vape Pam's coming soon. It's in the works. What is it? Let's get it. And V, hey, shout out to V, man. Thank you for having me on here. You're doing big things. The Kite app. Everyone get on this Kite app, man.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
new thing, man. I'm excited for it. Let's
appreciate
get
it, man.
no problem.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.